Chan Heung was reportedly born in August of the year 1806. However, the Guangdong Encyclopedia lists his birth year as 1814, describing him as originating from Gongbei village, in King Mui's Sun Hui province, in Guangdong, where all residents shared the surname Chan. From an early age, Chan Heung was captivated by Chinese martial arts. He first started his training under Heung Fut master Chan Yuan-Wu at the age of 7 years old. Chan Yuan-Wu, a native of Gongbei village, in King Mui village, Yamen town, worked as a bodyguard and was a well-known figure in the Lingnan martial arts community during the late Qing Dynasty. The precise location where Chan Yuan-Wu practiced martial arts remains uncertain, with some accounts suggesting Qing Yuan, and others pointing to the Guanxiao Temple, in Guangzhou. Eventually, Chan Yuan-Wu returned to his village and founded a training space at the Yuan Fu Chan Gong Temple, where he instructed apprentices during his free time. He became famous for his exceptional boxing techniques and taught thousands of disciples. Chan Heung studied under Chan Yuan-Wu for about 8 years until he turned 15. At that point, the aging master advised Chan Heung to start teaching the Heung Fut system in his own village. Chan Heung agreed and bid farewell to his mentor. When Chan Heung began advertising his martial arts teachings, many were skeptical of his skills due to his young age. Initial distrust led to challenges from locals, many of whom were defeated by Chan Heung, which gradually enhanced his reputation. One day, Chan Heung heard about a new martial arts master, named Li Yao San, that had been invited to establish a school nearby. Recognizing a chance to further establish his reputation as a martial artist, Chan Heung saw an opportunity to challenge Li Yao San, the inheritor of the Li Gar system, which was founded by Lei Sikhoi, one of the founders of the Hung Moon Secret Society, became the focus of Chan Heung's strategy. Learning that Li Yao San would be visiting a local restaurant, Chan Heung planned to confront him there, aiming to test his abilities and make a name for himself in the martial arts community of Sun Hui. Chan Heung arrived at the restaurant, and just as Li Yao San was exiting, he suddenly lunged at him, attempting to grab him around the waist and slam him to the floor. Li Yao San reacted swiftly, sweeping Chan Heung's legs from under him, and as Chan Heung was falling, Li Yao San managed to kick him a few feet away before he hit the ground. When Li Yao San saw Chan Heung rise to his feet, he was shocked, having been confident that his kick would have severely injured Chan Heung. Li Yao San then demanded an explanation for Chan Heung's aggressive attack and also wanted to know the name of his teacher. Chan Heung refused to implicate Chan Yuan-Wu and took sole responsibility for his actions. A few days later, Chan Heung heard that Li Yao San had criticized him, saying that Chan Heung was squandering his potential with his selfish pursuit of greatness. At the time, Chan Heung was only 17 and the comment struck a chord with him. He realized the truth in Li Yao San's words, resigned from his position as a teacher, and asked Li Yao San to accept him as a disciple. Li Yao San agreed, and over the next 10 years, Chan Heung achieved a level of skill that normally took 20 years to master. During their training, Chan Heung and Li Yao San learned that a survivor of the Shaolin Temple's destruction was residing on Mount Lao Fu and decided to visit him. Monk Choy Fook was a survivor of the temple's destruction and had escaped with his head ablaze. The scar he bore earned Choy Fook the nickname Lan Tao Fook, or Scar-Headed Fook. It is also believed that he was a master of the Choy Gar system. Both Chan Heung and Li Yao San went to Mount Lao Fu and encountered a man sweeping the temple stairs. They inquired about Monk Choy Fook, and the man, an older individual, still in great physical shape and mentally sharp, told them that Choy Fook was away but would return shortly, inviting them to wait. Li Yao San, being very competitive, saw the monk chopping firewood with his bare hands and took it as a show of skill. In response, he kicked a rice grinder straight up and out of its hole. The monk calmly walked over to the rice grinder, broke off a corner, and crushed it into dust, which he then threw at Li Yao San's feet as a warning to those who might cause trouble at the temple. Understanding the message, Li Yao San said goodbye to Chan Heung and left. Impressed by the monk's abilities, Chan Heung begged him to take him as a disciple. Initially, the monk refused, expressing only a desire to study Buddhism. However, after persistent pleading from Chan Heung, the monk agreed to teach him Kung Fu under 3 strict conditions. Chan Heung had to study Buddhism for 10 years, refrain from showing off or using Kung Fu to harm others, and kick the rice grinder back to its original place. Chan Heung agreed immediately, and the monk consented to teaching him. 10 years later, Chan Heung completed his training in Shaolin Kung Fu under the monk, who then prepared a feast and revealed that he was indeed monk Choy Fook. Reflecting on their journey, the monk mused that he had thought he would die alone on that mountain, unsure of whose good fortune it was that brought them together. As a side note, Choy Fook is not to be confused with the green grass monk, third and final teacher of hungsing. Monk Choy Fook advised Chan Heung that while 6 years of study was a commendable achievement, 10 years would be superior, and to truly follow the Shaolin path, he should also learn Chinese medicine and the 6 magical spells. Inspired, Chan Heung chose to extend his study with monk Choy Fook, who was then in his late 90s. Upon preparing to leave, Chan Heung sought guidance from monk Choy Fook on his future. Monk Choy Fook told him that he was not suited for a government official's life, but he and his descendants could become leaders if they adhered to the Shaolin traditions. He then gifted Chan Heung a pair of couplets that read, "The dragon and tiger met in heaven to revive our Shaolin ways," and "Teach your followers righteousness and let each generation uphold and enliven." Chan Heung was escorted down Mount Lao Fu by Tung Quan, Zhang Tin Chung, and Chan Chung Nin, a native of Sunwui. This was the last time Chan Heung would see monk Choy Fook, who later died at the age of 112. In the 12th year of the Daoguang era, 1832, having mastered his skills at Lao Fu Mountain, Chan Heung descended from the mountain to head back for King Mui. On his way back, Chan Heung happened to encounter banditry in Xingqing when he passed through Xingqing County. At that time, Yang Xianrong, the magistrate of Xingqing County, General Shuang Da, and guerrilla Tong Chi Zhao led the troops and organized the township to attack and suppress the army. However, they repeatedly failed and 134 people, including Yin Duanheng, were martyred. Left with no choice, the county magistrate posted a notice recruiting all capable warriors to answer the call. When Chan Heung found out what happened, he visited fellow villager Tong Chi Zhao and unveiled the list and went to see the county magistrate. Carrying the 2 short swords given to Chan Heung by monk Choy Fook when he came down the mountain, he went deep into the bandit formations in 7 villages including Xia Gontong. Chan Heung rushed left and right, as if he was in an uninhabited land. He defeated the bandits and rescued many trapped officers and soldiers. After winning the first battle, Chan Heung and Tong Chi Zhao led the troops to pursue the victory and annihilated the bandits, who occupied 32 villages. The imperial court awarded Chan Heung the official title of Zhong Yonghao and the title Da Ting. The phrase Zhong Yonghao in Chinese can be broken down into individual characters to understand its meaning. Zhong means loyal or devoted. It is often used to describe fidelity or loyalty, especially in the context of loyalty to one's country, leader, or principles. Yong means brave or courageous. It refers to having bravery or courage, often in the face of danger or adversity. Hao historically refers to a rank or title in the nobility, specifically a marquis. It is used in ancient and imperial Chinese contexts to denote a noble rank. For Chan Heung's contributions in suppressing bandits in Xingqing County, the imperial court honored him with the title Marquis of Loyalty and Courage, and the honorary title Da Ting. Da Ting was bestowed upon someone as a title. It likely carries a more symbolic or honorific meaning rather than a literal one. Here's a possible interpretation given this context. Da. This character implies achievement, reach, or broad-mindedness. Bestowing a title containing this character might emphasize the recipient's accomplishments, or their enlightened, inclusive approach to matters. Ting. As mentioned, this character refers to a pavilion, often found in a garden or as a resting place along a path. It symbolically represents a place of peace, contemplation, or gathering. From a young age, Chan Heung was deeply influenced by the ideology of opposing the Qing Dynasty and restoring the Ming. He aspired only to rid the people of harm, bearing in mind Choy Fook's final advice that it was not suitable for him to serve as an official. As a result, Chan Heung made numerous attempts to resign from his government post. Eventually returning to Wuchang, he established the Eternal Victory Tong pharmacy, provided medical help to those in need, and dedicated himself to the rigorous study of martial arts. Over 2 years, he refined and synthesized the knowledge he had accumulated, blending various techniques from palm strikes, kicks, and boxing to form an innovative martial arts system in 1836, during the 16th year of the Dao Guang era. This system uniquely integrated elements of both hardness and softness, as well as offensive and defensive maneuvers. In gratitude to his 3 mentors, he adopted the name Choy Li Fut. With his distinct skills, local elders invited him to establish the hungsing martial arts gym within the Yuan Fu Chan Gong Temple in King Mui, where he taught martial arts. Due to his remarkable abilities, he gained international fame, attracting martial arts enthusiasts from across Guangdong and Guangxi to join his school. Consequently, King Mui village became the cradle of the Choy Li Fut boxing school. Chan Heung initially had a group of 18 students, all sharing the Chan surname except for one outsider. These included Long Ji Choi, possibly Zhang Yim, Chan Din Yao, Chan Din Fun, Chan Din Bong, Chan Din Wai, Chan Dai Yup, Chan Mao Zhang, Chan Din Sing, Chan Din Zhen, Chan Din Duck, Chan Sun Dong, Chan Dai Wai, Chan Yin Yu, Chan Xian Hing, Chan Ding Sing, Chan Dai Sing, Chan Mei Wing, and Chan Din Gum. Between 1839 and 1840, during Lin Zexu's opium prohibition, Chan Heung, unable to refuse, assisted in training the volunteer navy. When the Opium War broke out, he decisively led his disciples to join the forces of the Human Naval Office in Guangzhou, courageously resisting foreign invasions. After the Qing government capitulated and Lin Zexu was demoted, Hong Kong was ceded. Disillusioned with the corruption and incompetence of the Qing regime, Chan Heung returned to King Mui with his disciples, firmly believing in strengthening their clan through martial prowess. He actively promoted the philosophy that advancing martial skills could ward off external threats, and that retreating to hone these skills would bolster their physical and spiritual strength. Diligently teaching martial arts, Chan Heung also focused on the organizational expansion of the Great Sage Martial Arts School. By 1845, seizing the opportune moment, he established the Great Sage General Hall and the Ancestral Master Hall in King Mui. Thanks to this efficient organization, the Choy Li Fut Great Sage Hall spread rapidly, blossoming like scattered flowers from the heavens. In accordance with Master Choy Fook's gifted couplets, Chan Heung placed in the main hall of King Mui the Guandia couplet. With great talent, the arts are secured, and with divine calculation, martial strategies are commended. The couplet in the Ancestral Master Hall stated, the Choy Li Fut lineage stems from Shaolin, the true direct lineage. The entrance couplet read, punches derive their power from the body, and stick moves must be guided by keen eyes and spirit. Each branch displayed a couplet expressing their martial ethos. The valiant staff flies like a dragon's tail, and the mighty fist strikes like the head of a tiger. In April 1854, during the 4th year of the Xian Feng Emperor's reign, Chan Song Yen, the senior brother of Chan Heung, initiated an uprising within the Triad Association in Goshan, Jiangmen, under the banner of the Hung Abeyance Martial Arts School. By 1856, Chan Heung joined Shida Kai, known as the Wing King, at the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom's headquarters, serving as a military strategist and training revolutionary forces. However, following internal conflicts in Tianjin, he parted ways with the Wing King and returned to King Mui. After the conclusion of the Taiping Rebellion in 1864, the Qing government aggressively pursued anyone associated with the movement. To evade capture, Chan Heung and his former pupil, hungsing, fled to Hong Kong. It was in Hong Kong where Chan Heung was reunited with hungsing after many years. Chan Heung was impressed by hungsing's achievements, and came to regard him as a brother, eager to learn about the teachings Chung received from the green grass monk. hungsing attributed his success to the foundation laid by Chan Heung's guidance. Over time, Chan Heung and his former student hungsing worked together to add in some of the new gung fu techniques into the Choy Li Fut system. In this case, Chan Heung represented the early Choy Li Fut and hungsing was responsible for the older Choy Li Fut. During the 3 years they spent together, Chan Heung and hungsing went to Nanyang to spread the Choy Li Fut system and make a living via teaching martial arts. In Nanyang, there was a local port called Gold Mountain, which is not to be confused for San Francisco. There was a bully there named Gillis who boasted about being the world's strongest man due to his martial arts skills, and he particularly looked down on overseas Chinese, constantly collecting various protection fees. At that time, the government of Nanyang paid little attention to the interests of the overseas Chinese. With no other choice, the Chinese consulate turned to Chan Heung to uphold justice for the Chinese people. As a member of the Southern Drifters, Chan Heung could not refuse this responsibility. Upon arriving at Gold Mountain Port, Chan Heung and the local Chinese community invited Gillis to negotiate and persuaded him to cancel the annual dues. Gillis unexpectedly demanded a life-or-death duel first. During the duel, Gillis attacked viciously, aiming to kill. However, Chan Heung, agile and proficient in movement, evaded and responded with a move called Riding Dragon Palm, throwing Gillis 10 feet away. Gillis, not admitting defeat, stood up to fight again. Chan Heung seized an opening and struck Gillis' chest with his elbow, breaking his sternum and knocking him down, unable to rise. The overseas Chinese, furious, unanimously wanted Gillis killed to prevent future trouble. Chan Heung, adhering to high martial ethics, did not take advantage of the situation and instead helped Gillis up. For nearly a month afterward, Chan Heung used Chan Heung's Shaolin healing techniques to treat Gillis until he recovered. Completely subdued by Chan Heung's skill and moral conduct, Gillis publicly apologized to the overseas Chinese in a local newspaper and promised never to bully them again. From then on, Chan Heung's reputation soared and became internationally known. During the Tongji era of the Qing Dynasty, and nearing his 60s, Chan Heung was appointed by the Guangdong Association in Hong Kong as a martial arts instructor. At that time, to boost business around their new racetrack, the British government in Hong Kong employed a Russian strongman who set up a challenge platform in Wan Chai, openly defying Chinese martial arts. More than 10 Chinese martial artists from Hong Kong faced him, and were all defeated. Disparaging the skills of his opponents, the strongman arrogantly claimed in a newspaper that no Chinese could withstand his strength. Encouraged by his students, Chan Heung stepped forward to meet this challenge. The contest was governed by Western boxing rules, which required fighters to wear gloves, forbidding kicks and elbow strikes, thus limiting traditional Chinese martial arts maneuvers. With composed and swift movements, Chan Heung evaded attacks while analyzing his opponent's vulnerabilities. After many ex-Chan guessed, the robust Russian's blows started to falter. Seizing the moment, Chan Heung baited him by leaving an opening, evaded a forceful punch, and executed a Yin hammer blow to the Russian's ribs. The strike caused the strongman to cry out in agony and collapse, try to rise, and then fall again, ultimately needing to be removed on a stretcher. In 1867, as peace returned after the upheaval of the Taiping Rebellion, it was safe for Chan Heung and hungsing to return home. Historical records indicate that Chan Heung returned to King Mui, and hungsing went back to Phut San to reopen his own hungsing kun. Despite some claims that this was hungsing's first visit to Phut San to take over a school from a visually impaired student of Chan Heung, the facts tell a different story. hungsing had already established his school in Phut San in 1851, and Chan Heung's student did not lose his sight until 1875. Thus, contrary to some beliefs, Chan Heung did not send hungsing to Phut San. It was the green grass monk who had originally sent hungsing there. After a long life of trials and tribulations, and a great legacy left behind, Chan Heung passed away in the year 1875 and is buried in King Mui. Today, you can find branches of Chan Heung and his great sage school flourishing all over the world. May his legacy thrive for 10,000 generations.